Hello friends, so I welcome you all in this video lecture series initiated by All India TechCube faculties. So this is my third lecture, and in this lecture basically I will discuss about the harmonic function, and then I will also discuss about the pole singularity, right? And then I will also solve the two problem from the GATE question paper. So one by one we just see. In the previous two lectures we have already seen what is complex number, what is complex function, what is the modulus of any complex number, and also we have seen a most important definition, that is analytic function, Cauchy-Riemann equation. So these things we have already covered in the last two lecture. In this lecture first we see what is harmonic function, because many times in GATE exam the question are also asked based on this condition, right? Basically in the GATE exam they ask whether the given function is harmonic or not, so you have to satisfy this condition. So any function f(x,y), right? F is a function which is function of x and y, which is basically the continuous first and second order partial derivative which exist, right? And continuous partial derivative of first order and second order exist, and satisfying this condition. If any function which satisfy this condition is called harmonic function. So many times in the GATE exam they have also asked whether the given complex function is harmonic or not. So let's suppose this is the given complex function, that is u plus iota v. So you have to tell about whether the given function is harmonic or not, for which you know this is the real part which is basically function of x and y. In the similar way v is also the function of x and y, right? So now we check whether the given function is harmonic or not, for which we have to show what? Del 2u upon del x square, differentiation with respect to y, the second derivative, del 2u by del y square will be 0. If this condition is satisfied, we can say that u is harmonic. In the similar way, if we have to show whether v is harmonic or not, for which we have to show del 2v by del x square and plus del 2v by del y square is 0. So this is the condition for the harmonic, right? So sometime the question are also asked based on this definition, and also I will solve the related problems, right? So now we move on the second definition. So the next one is singular point. What is singular point? So if you want to know whether the given point is singular for this given complex function is or not, so what you have to see? Let's suppose if z is equal to z naught is any point, and we have to show that this is singular point. Singular point means the function fz fails to be analytic. If the function is not analytic at this point, we say that it is basically what? Singular or singularity of the function, right? So the point z is equal to z naught, basically z naught is said to be singular point, or we can say that singularity of the function fz, if it fails to be analytic at that point. Let's suppose, for example, this is the function fz is equal to 1 upon z minus 5, right? So you can see it exists everywhere except z is equal to 5, right? So this function is fails to be analytic at the point what? Z is equal to 5. So we can say that this is the singularity of the function. Z is equal to 5 is the singularity of what? Singularity of fz, or we can say that z is equal to 5 is the singular point for this given complex function. So there has a several types of singularity, right? which are basically asked in the GATE exam, but one by one we see all these and parallelly we try to solve the question also. So we more focus on this pole because most of the question are asked based on this pole. So we focus on this pole, and there has several other singularity also. Isolated singular point, poles, removal singularity, essential singularity, non-essential singularity, right? So there has several types of singularity, but we focus on those only which are basically related to the GATE exam. So first I just discuss about the pole because this is very important singular point, and most of the question are asked based on this pole, right? So what is pole? When we say that a function is basically pole at any point, right? At any point. So now you can see here a singular point. Let's suppose this is the singular point, right? Z is equal to Z naught is basically singular point. So this singular point is said to be pole, and I told you what is the meaning of singular point. The point at which the function fails to be analytic. जिस पॉइंट पे वो फंक्शन क्या हो, एनालिटिक ना हो, राइट, दैट पॉइंट इज बेसिकली कॉल्ड सिंगुलर पॉइंट. सो देयर हैज अ टू थिंग्स. व्हेन वी से दैट दिस point is basically pole, if you just put limit z tends to z0, fz does not exist. What? It does not exist. As we have seen earlier, fz is equal to 1 by z minus 5. You can see here this function does not exist at z is equal to 5. So this is the first condition. Second are limit z tends to z0, fz become what? Infinite. Then we can say that what? This is the simple trick. You can check by this is easy condition. Limit z tends to z0, fz become infinite. Then we can simply say that this point z is equal to z0 is basically the what? Pole of the function. So if you put here the limit z tends to z0, fz is what? Limit z tends to basically 5. If you want to show z is equal to 5 is a pole, so you can put here and see 1 upon approximately, it is z tends to 5 means approximately 5, so 5 minus 5 which is 0, so 1 minus 0 which is approximately infinite. So we can say that this z is equal to 5 is the pole of this function fz, right? So this is a very beautiful and easy example to understand the meaning of pole of the complex function. Now next is order of the pole, right? What is the order of pole? This is also very important thing. Many times this question is also based on this order. So I think it is clear what is pole, and I will tell you what is the order of the pole by a counter example. Now as it is clear, z is equal to z0 is a pole. So when it is pole, when the limit does not exist, or we can say that the limit become infinite, right? Now we can find a positive integer n. This is basically the order of the pole. When we say that this n is the order of this pole, if you just find out the limit what? Limit z tends to z0, z minus z0, you have to multiply by basically z minus z0 raised to the power n, and this is basically the what? Positive integer n, whatever the power is given. And if it comes c which is basically non-zero, then we can say that n is basically the order of the pole. For example, you can see for the same problem, let's suppose fz is equal to what? 1 upon z minus 5 and raised to the power 3, right? You know z is equal to 5 is a what? Is pole, right? Is pole. Now you multiply by what? Z minus z0. जिस पॉइंट की बात कर रहे हैं, जिस पॉइंट पे ये पोल है, you just subtract and put the power. So once you put limit z tends to 5, what you can do? Z minus 5, and this will be non-zero only if the power is basically what? 3 with this fz. Fz is what? It is given z minus 5 raised to the power 3, which is basically 1, right? If you put less power. If you put less power, it become what? Infinite. And once you put the equal power, then it become 1. And if you put greater than 3, then it becomes 0. So for the condition that the function is exist, for which we have to put the same power, right, same power as the power is for the function, right. So we can say that this n which is basically non-zero, on this basis we can say that this z is equal to 5 is a pole of order basically what? 3, right, of order 3. So this is the simple definition what is a pole and what is the order of the pole. So I think by these two example it is clear what is the meaning of pole, right, and what is the meaning of order of the pole, right. Now we move on the gate problem, and then again we solve the question related to these topics also. So now this is the first question. This question is asked in GATE 2016 in mechanical engineering branch, and the question is, I think there has a two types of question, in a GATE exam. There is a first is the objective type, and second is the you have to answer, right, you have to put some answer in numeric value, right. So this question is basically that type, second type. Now what is the question? First we read the question carefully. So the function f of a complex variable, this is the complex variable, is given by this what? fxy, that is basically u plus iota v. It is given, first you just write down what is given. So this is the complex function f. You can write like this xy, or you can also simply write like this fz, right. So fz which is given u plus iota v, right. This u and v both are basically function of what? Function of x and y. So no need to write this, it is already well known things. So where it is given u, yes, u xy, this real part is given, u is given 2k xy, right, and the imaginary part, that is v, is given, which is basically x square minus y square, right. So two things are given. Now what is the question? The value of k, it asks about the value of k for which the function is analytic is. Basically it asks about the value of this k for which this function become analytic. So yesterday we have already discussed what is the condition that the function is said to be analytic. There has a two part basically. You have seen first is the necessary condition, in which we have seen if it satisfies the Cauchy-Riemann equation, we can say that it is what? It is basically analytic. Second is the sufficient condition, in which we have to show also, apart from this Cauchy-Riemann equation, the four partial derivative, that is del u by del x, del u by del y, del v by del x, and del u by del y must be what? Continuous, right. So we just use the necessary condition, and let check what are the value for which value of this k for which this function become analytic. So CR equation, Cauchy-Riemann equation, is the necessary condition that the function is said to be what? Analytic. This is only the what? fz is analytic. So we can use this condition and get the result. Now what is the Cauchy-Riemann equation. If fz is basically u plus iota v, then Cauchy-Riemann equation is what? The first equation is del u by del x is equal to del v by del y, right. And the second condition, our second equation, is del u by del y, that is equal to minus del v by del x. So these are the two equation of the Cauchy-Riemann equation, right. Now we can just solve this question by using these two equation. So here it is given u is equal to 2kxy. So in the first equation you can see here u and v both are given. So if you apply the first equation, so del u by del x, so with respect to x you have to differentiate this function partially. So once you will differentiate this, you will get del u by del x. This is basically nothing but what? With respect to x, it is basically partial differentiation. So rest of the variable are treated as a constant. So 2ky, right? And now this is del v by del y, right? Del v by del y. This must be equal to del v by del y. So you can just calculate del v by del y. So once you differentiate this second function with respect to y, what you will get? So with respect to y, this will minus 2y, because x is treated as a constant for this case. So now what you will get? 2ky is equal to minus 2y, and on this basis we can say that what? 2y will be cancelled out, so k is become what? Minus 1. So this function will be analytic once k is basically minus 1. As you have checked this condition for equation number 1, also you can check the same condition for the equation number 2. Now we check the same condition for the equation number 2, whether the value of k is coming same or different. So now del u by del y, I just directly calculate del u by del y. Differentiate this u with respect to y, x is treated as a constant. So what you will get? 2k what? X, right? Y with respect to y become 1. Now this is equal to minus of what? Minus del v by del x, minus del v by del x. So minus is outside del v by del x. You just differentiate this function with respect to x, what you will get? 2x, right? So finally what we will get here? 2x again cancel out. This will be k is equal to minus 1. So from both of the equation of the Cauchy-Riemann, we get the same result, right? So for what value this function is analytic? This is basically nothing but minus 1, right? K value is minus 1. So this question is asked in GATE 2016 in mechanical branch. There has a 2 set, so this is come set number 1, right? So now I have taken the another problem which are asked in the second set of the same year. Now see this question. This question is again based on Cauchy-Riemann equation. So most of the questions are asked based on this Cauchy-Riemann equation and also based on the complex integration, right? Cauchy integral formula. So we basically focus on these important formula most, right? Now see, it is given fz is equal to u. This question is basically asked in set 2, right? There has a several set in the GATE exam. The first set question paper we have already solved. This is the set number 2. fz is given u plus iota v, right? Again the same type of function is given, u plus iota v, right? Is an analytic function of the complex variable. The same thing is given here, and iota is under root minus 1. It is already given. Now it says u is given here, u x y, which is basically 2xy, right? And then you have to find out the value of vxy. Vxy may be expressed as, it asks about which of these are correct, right? Which of these are correct? So they ask basically value of vxy, right? If any function, since it is already given, the function is analytic, right? This function is what? Analytic. And if any complex function which is analytic, it must satisfy the what? Cauchy-Riemann equation. It must satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation. So the Cauchy-Riemann equation, and by using that we can easily calculate the value of v, right? So the Cauchy-Riemann equation is what? If this is the function fz is equal to u plus iota v, then Cauchy-Riemann equation is del u by del x is equal to del v by del y, and the second equation is del u by del y is equal to minus del v by del x, right? So these are the two equation. Now we can just check the option, as it is u is already given. So if you apply in the first option, del u by del x is what? Del u by del x, you differentiate this function with respect to x partially. So del u by del x is equal to what? X. It become 2y, right? Because y is treated as a constant. So now we have to find out del v by del y, and v is already given in these four options. So now we can check for which value del v by del y it give the same value, right? So you just differentiate here, very simple question. Now del v by del y, differentiate the first function with respect to y. What you will get? For the, you just check for this first option, del v by del y with respect to y, you will get 2y. So now it is looking correct, right? Now we check the second option. For the second option, if you differentiate the function with respect to y, what you will get? Minus 2y. So this cannot be true. Now we move on the third option, option number C. Once you differentiate this function, again you will get what? 2y with respect to y. Just see here, 2x is treated as a constant, y is square which is 2y, and this is the constant. So constant again 0, so we get 2y. So now you can see here option number 1 and C both are looking correct, but you know only one option is correct in this case. Now option number D. What about option number D? It is given minus x square, and once you multiply inside this minus, it is minus y square. So del v by del y is again what? Minus 2y. So this option is also cannot be true. Now the question is either option number A or option number 2 is correct. So here we cannot predict anything, but yes, option number this B and D is 100% wrong. Now we can use the second equation. Now by the second equation we can easily check. Now del u by del y, you just calculate. What about del u by del y? So del u by del y is basically what? 2x, right? Del u by del y is what? Once you differentiate this u with respect to y, it will be 2x. Now check. Now you find out for the option number A and C for del v by del x. If you calculate for the option number 1 del v by del x, what you will get? Del v by del x, that is basically minus 2x. Yes, these are equal if del u by del x is equal to minus time of del v by del x. This option number A is correct, which are satisfying both the equation. Now you also check the option number C. If you calculate del v by del x for the equation number 2, del v by del x, then you will get what? Del v by del x is equal to 2x. But it cannot be true. Why? Because the second equation of Cauchy-Riemann is what? Del u by del y is equal to minus del v by del x. Once you take minus of this, it will be equal, right? So on this basis we can say that both of the equation of the Cauchy-Riemann equation is satisfied by only option number A. Hence option number A is correct. This option number C is incorrect. So these are the simple problems that are asked in GATE exam, right, from the complex variable. In the next lecture we will try to include more problem based on this harmonic function and also poles of the